So please, we are still at the conference, European Humanist Conference in Athens, and we are talking to the head or former head of British Humanist Association.
Current head of the British Humanist. Yep.
I wasn't sure about it. Could you please tell our Polish viewers or listeners, I say listeners because I mostly listen to television, don't watch it. What do you do in England? What's the situation in the field of humanism?
Sure, well the British Humanist Association is growing a lot at the moment. We have, like everywhere else in Europe, a population that is becoming less and less religious, more and more humanist in their values, and we do all the sorts of things that humanist organisations do across the world. We've been going since 1896, so it's good over 120 years now. We provide ceremonies, of course. Our funerals and weddings and other ceremonies are very popular. We do a lot of work in schools, train speakers to go into schools, talk about humanism. We do a lot of advocacy work to Parliament and to government, fighting for secularist policies and also humanist ethical policies like assisted dying for the terminally ill or sexual reproductive health rights. So it's a lot of work.
Don't you have, because I will ask a strange question now, because my main concern in recent years in Poland is that there is a growing number of non-believers who are not humanists at all, in my opinion. Some of them are very authoritarian, or maybe either homophobic, or they want to put believers into psychiatric hospitals by force. People like that. I think it's rather Eastern European or maybe particularly Polish phenomenon, but I'm wondering whether you have anything like that in England.
Well, of course there are. I mean, in the UK, really most people aren't religious, you know. If you ask people, so 95% of people don't go to church, over 50% of people say that they're not religious as a positive statement. So actually there's a huge diversity of non-religious people. Not all non-religious people are humanists. Having said that, when we do surveys and attitude opinion polls to find out what people believe, we discover that the large majority of people who call themselves non-religious in the UK are humanists. You know, that these values are pretty widely shared amongst non-religious population. But I think we do have to be very careful in the humanist movement to be clear that we're not just there for everyone who doesn't believe in God or everyone who's not religious. There may be really...
I'm happy to hear that.
It's very important. I mean, there may be very nihilistic atheists, or as you say, very authoritarian, politically authoritarian, non-religious people.
What about nationalism? Because from Polish perspective, we hear a lot about what's happening in England or more generally Great Britain in connection with the fact that there were so many Poles and other immigrants coming from Europe and not only Europe. And there are some tendencies in political life in England to sort of send all these immigrants back to their countries. Do you take any position in this discourse?
Yeah, we've been
social, political.
Absolutely. We've been active against populism. The law affects what we can and can't do as an organisation in the UK in relation to comment on political parties and political issues. But we've been always very strong on saying that good humanist values about our life together are the rule of law, human rights, democracy, and these things are the basis, should be the basis for politics and the foundation of our civic life. And the sort of nationalism in England and in Scotland and in wherever it might break out needs to be questioned and challenged in that framework. You know, the humanists have important things to say about politics and about the values that should inform our civic life, and I think they stand in opposition to the sort of populism that you're talking about.
Have you noticed any new Polish members of Humanist Association in Britain?
Yes, we have actually. We did, and we even had an article in the Polish newspaper in London about our funerals, which turned out to be very popular. We haven't yet trained any Polish celebrants in the UK, but hopefully we will. If you're watching this and you want to come to London and be a celebrant for the BHA,
you mean
do
paid celebrant?
Oh yeah.
So you'll get thousands of people from Poland. Thank you very much, Andrew.
Thank you.
For the time being, maybe we'll continue later.
Yeah, maybe
okay?
later. Okay.
Thank you. Dziękujemy bardzo.